Hey, welcome back. Craig here, and today we're gonna be talking about the 3 top ways that people usually fail at negotiating. And I'm gonna be talking about job offer negotiation and compensation, but really you can apply this to just about any type of thing where you're negotiating at all. So let's get into it. All right, number 1 is people tend to say no to themselves. This is a really common thing. And let's say that, you are negotiating with me and I have something here. I have this speaker and it's a really cool speaker and I say, hey, this is $200. And you're like, wow, that's $200 for the speaker. I can't afford that. But you didn't actually offer anything else. You didn't negotiate with me at all. And most often people stop before they ask that question of, hey, is there any wiggle room here? Is there anything I can change about the situation? They say no to themselves and they walk away. Now, maybe I was willing to sell it to you for $25, but you'll never know because you said no to yourself and you didn't let me say no to whatever your proposal was. Another way that people say no to themselves before they even get into the job arena is sometimes they'll see a job with requirements. So let's say there's a job and it says MBA is preferred, but it's not necessarily a requirement. And sometimes these people say it's a requirement, but it's not. Someone might look at that job offer and say, oh, I can't do this because I don't have an MBA. Most often, a lot of the things that people say are requirements are actually really flexible once they get to know you. So the lesson here is not to say no to yourself. And the way to practice this is really to start to just catalog how often during the day this happens. And you don't have to actually counter it and change your behavior at all. But really the thing to do here is just notice how many times you want something, and instead of actually asking for it, you just decide to go another direction. And that's totally fine, but once you start just kind of getting this in your head and realizing how often it happens, in these bigger situations like a job offer, you really want to not say no to yourself, and you'll be more likely to notice it and then move beyond it and actually ask for something or propose a new idea. All right, so the second way that people fail at negotiations is they negotiate against themselves, okay? You don't wanna play both sides of the board, and the way this comes up is, let's say that you're earning $70,000 right now and somebody offers you a job for $50,000. And you're like, oh, I can't take that. I'm at $70,000 right now. And they say, what would you accept? Well, the problem here is that you just told them something. You just said, hey, this is not high enough. And now they're asking you to come back with another number. You don't want to name 2 numbers in a row. Once you come back to them with some information, now it's their turn to make a proposal, and you don't get kind of jimmied into a corner where you're offering a number and then you offer another number. Because what happens there is you're like, well, it's 70,000, maybe I could accept 65. The problem is, you just knocked yourself down $5,000. You have to ask them what they're willing to spend. Don't negotiate against yourself. If you give up the number, the next step is for them to give up a number, and you have to go back and forth a couple times, that's fine. But don't get into this corner where you say a number and then you say a lower number. Number 2, in order to get used to hearing no and being okay with it, you have to practice it. And it's an uncomfortable thing at first, but the way I like to interject it into my life is by putting it in situations where it doesn't really matter that much. So let's say that I am getting coffee at a store, getting a donut. Often I will ask the person checking out at the cashier, I'll be like, hey, you look like you're in charge. How about discounts for special people? And I'll make it like a joke. Sometimes people will actually give you a discount just for asking. But the important part here is not to get discounts necessarily in these small situations, but instead to get used to the response that might, elicit some awkwardness. So if they're like, oh, I can't do this, you can say, oh, sorry, you look like you were the boss, so I thought I'd ask. Something, it doesn't really matter what your response is, but you have to learn to play with that kind of awkwardness of, hey, I can ask for something, hear no, and be okay, both myself emotionally, and I can make the other person feel okay. Go along with it in a really positive manner, a light manner, and then you can take these small situations, and then as you get into these bigger situations like a job offer, you can learn how to actually utilize that I'm okay with hearing no and start asking for more stuff. Now, in another video, I'm gonna go into very explicit detail about how to do this in a job offer negotiation and how to compliment somebody and modulate the temperature of the conversation. Try this out in a very simple situation. Try practicing hearing no by asking for something and then playing with the answer in kind of a jovial, fun way. Guys, I hope you liked this video, all about the 3 ways that people tend to fail at negotiation and how to kind of get around them. I'm gonna be doing lots more videos. Subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. Let me know if you like this video and hit me up in the comments if you have any questions. I will see you in the next video. Hey, my name is Craig and welcome. Today, Hey, my name is Craig and nope.